life brought him, he would remain the supreme realist, keeping his hustler's eye sharp and focused. Over the next few years, he became one of the savviest hustlers in his neighborhood, operating a small crew that brought him good money. The future looked promising, but a moment's inattention got him trapped in a police sting, and at the age of 16, he was sentenced to 9 months in a shock rehabilitation center in upstate New York. In this unfamiliar space, and with time to reflect, suddenly the words of truth came back to him. This was not the time to get depressed or to dream, but to fix that hustler's eye on himself and the world he lived in. See it as it is, no matter how ugly. He had unbridled ambition. He wanted real power, something he could build on. But no street hustler lasts that long. It's a young man's game. By the time hustlers reach their 20s, they slow down and something bad happens, or they go scurrying into a low-paying job. And what blinds them to this reality is the money and lifestyle in the moment. They think it will go on forever. They're too afraid to try something else. It doesn't matter how clever you are. There's a ceiling to how high you can rise. He had to wake up and get out while he was still young and his ambitions could be realized. He would not be afraid. And so based on these reflections, he decided he would make a break into music. He would find a mentor, someone who could teach him the ropes. He would learn everything he could about music and the business. He would have no plan B. It was either make it there or die. Operating with a kind of desperate energy, he made the transition into music, carving a place for himself by creating a sound that was hard-driving and reflected the realities of the streets. After a relentless mixtape campaign in New York, he got the attention of Eminem, and a record deal followed. Now he seemed to have realized his childhood ambitions. He had money and power. People were nice to him. Everywhere he went, they flattered him, wanting to be a part of his success. He could feel it happening. The good press, the sycophantic followers, it was all starting to go to his head and dull his vision. On the surface, everything looked great, but what was the reality here? Now, more than ever, he needed that clear, penetrating eye to see past all the hype and glamour. The more he looked at it, the more he realized that the reality of the music business was as harsh as the streets. The executives who ran the labels were ruthless. They distracted you with their charming words, but in fact they could care less about your future as an artist. They wanted to suck you dry of every dollar they could get out of you. Once you were no longer so hot, you would find yourself slowly pushed to the side. Your decline would be all the more painful for having once tasted success. In truth, you were a pawn in their game. A corner hustler had more power and control over his future than a rapper did. And what about the business itself? Record sales were falling because people were pirating music or buying it in different forms. Anyone with 2 eyes could see that. The old business model had to go. But these very same executives, who seemed so sharp, were afraid to confront this reality. They held on tightly to the past and would bring everyone down with them. Not 50. He would avoid this fate by moving in a different direction. He would forge a diversified business empire, music merely being a tool to get there. His decisions would be based on his intense reading of the changing environment that he had detected in music, but was infecting all levels of business. Let others depend on their MBAs, their money, and their connections. He instead would rely upon that hustler's eye that had brought him from the bottom of America to the top in just a few short years. The fearless approach. The following is a quote from 50 Cent. "Reality is my drug. The more I have of it, the more power I get, and the higher I feel." You might imagine that the streets that molded 50 and the code he created for himself have little to do with your circumstances, but that is merely a symptom of your dreaming, of how deeply you are infected with fantasies and how afraid you are to face reality. The world has become as grimy and dangerous as the streets of Southside Queens, a global, competitive environment in which everyone is a ruthless hustler, out for him or herself. Truth's words apply to you as much as to 50. The greatest danger you face is your mind growing soft and your eye getting dull. When things get tough and you grow tired of the grind, your mind tends to drift into fantasies. You wish things were a certain way, and slowly, subtly, you turn inward to your thoughts and desires. If things are going well, you become complacent, imagining that what you have now will continue forever. You stop paying attention. Before you know it, you end up overwhelmed by the changes going on and the younger people rising up around you, challenging your position.